Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this video.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Zienx here, back with another video. I'm gonna be honest, after avidly playing FFA for the past 2 or so months, I want to kind of go on a little bit of a rant because this game could so easily be an A-tier game in my opinion, and I want to see the gameplay improve rather than bitch and complain about the same stupid things happening in every lobby. So without further ado, this is gonna be my top 10 ways to fix MW2 free-for-all. Coming in at reason number 1, red dots on the minimap, or the lack thereof. For those of you who played prior Call of Duty titles, you probably remember your minimap as one of your best tools for gaining information about an enemy's location. Well, for the first time in 20 years, Infinity Ward wanted to fix that tool for God knows why, by completely taking red dots off the minimap so players wouldn't be punished for shooting their gun. In a sense, I get that. The intention was that push-heavy playstyles wouldn't be punished for running around the map and can kill enemies a lot easier. However, it had the exact opposite reaction than developers intended. Due to the fact that players were playing off little to no information where enemies were located, the best strategy became camping in strong points and waiting for the action to come to you, in fear that if you were to move around, people would just kill you from the side or kill you from the back. This is a major issue, especially in free-for-all where I feel like I'm playing extreme hide and seek 98% of the time because players refuse to move around the map. Red dots are a necessity for free-for-all. Players need an actual target to have a desire to move around the map to find the next kill, which makes the gameplay faster. I know Infinity Ward has already spoken upon this, basically telling us to go fuck ourselves. They're not turning them back on, but here's my thing. Why is it that a new party game mode like Gun Game and One in the Chamber added during Season 2 and 3 have red dots, but an actual free-for-all game mode doesn't? Like, shouldn't the main free-for-all based game mode have it if other party game modes based off free-for-all have red dots? Coming in at number 2, you know I had to talk about skill-based matchmaking. Ah yes, the most heated debate of every Call of Duty ever created since Modern Warfare 2019, skill-based matchmaking. Or as my friends like to call it, skilling your base, bro. My simple question: why the fuck is this in the game? Seriously, with rank play modes in multiplayer and Warzone coming soon, why does regular casual multiplayer have skill-based matchmaking? I'm not trying hard. I'm not playing for a rank or a tier. I just want to hit some quad feeds, man. And yet, I get punished by the game for hours by CDL sweats using meta guns if I even have one remotely positive game. I shouldn't have to sweat my balls off every game in order to have fun. Just put me up against a mix of players, either good or bad. Also, one thing that really grinds my fucking gears: stop changing the lobby after every single game. If you're so hell-bent on having skill-based matchmaking in casual multiplayer, can you at least let me hold on to the good lobby rather than kick me out after every game and feed me to another group of random players ready to kick my ass? I used to enjoy back in the day when I would sit in the same lobby on BO2 for hours on end. That's how I met people in the community. That's how I made some of my closest friends. Now, I couldn't even tell you the last 10 people I played against. Hopefully because I never have to see them again, because God, they're annoying. Tip number 3 is another thing I shouldn't have to talk about, but Modern Warfare 2 spawn locations have got to be addressed. One thing that other games that were great for free-for-all like Cold War, AW, or BO2 had in common was that spawns were logical, consistent, and predictable. However, in this dogshit game, spawns aren't based off logic. They're based completely off RNG, also known as random number generator. Players can spawn anywhere on the map, which is bullshit. Players should spawn on the outskirts of the map, forcing them to push towards the choke points, which are located in the center of the map. For example, Raid from Black Ops 2, Nuketown from every Treyarch game, and on a good day, I'll give it to you, Al Bagra Fortress. Also, I should never spawn 10 feet away from the guy who just killed me or the guy I just killed. If I kill somebody or somebody kills me, there is no reason that they should be my direct next gunfight. It's that level of unpredictability which makes the game so freaking frustrating sometimes. Tip number 4, the duration of matches. This is my advice if your stubborn asses aren't gonna fix the first 3 issues I mentioned. Please, for the love of God, increase the match time from 10 minutes to 12 minutes. The amount of times my game has ended due to the time limit because I'm playing fucking Where's Waldo with 7 people on the map, or when I actually manage to get to last and I have 30 seconds left to trick shot, is beyond annoying. You've already done it with most 6v6 game modes, which means you're aware your gameplay is slower, which means the game should last longer. So why not just up the time so I'm not competing against the damn clock in free-for-all? Tip number 5 is probably something you've heard from every content creator since the start of Modern Warfare 2, the insanely fast TTK. I honestly think that they will never change this, but holy hell is it an issue. The amount of times I get lasered across the map before I even ADS my slow ass sniper rifle makes me miserable. I could name 5 guns off the top of my head besides the TAC and Vaznev that need a desperate nerf because they melt like crazy. Also, if you're gonna have a fast TTK where I died from getting shot in the toe 3 times, at least lower the headshot multiplier so I'm not dying in literally 1 bullet. Also, at least let me get red screen before I get incinerated off of a head glitch by an AK-47. Tip number 6 is another heated debate amongst the Call of Duty community. Dead silence as a perk / loudness equalization. Another issue I highly doubt developers will touch, but this has got to be the worst gameplay mechanic in COD history. Maybe like 10 or so years ago, where only 10% of the players actually could afford Turtle Beaches or Astros and can sound whore me, but not in a time where everybody, regardless of playtime, has at least a $60 headset. Why would you turn me into a freaking elephant now? On top of the fact that your game doesn't promote movement of any kind because of the lack of a minimap, it is so easy for herbs to just sit in the corner and crank their headset to 100 and just pre-aim every corner. I pray to God that the next developers learn from this horrible mistake. Just add dead silence as a perk, not as a stupid field upgrade. Let me move around the map and not be punished for having the balls to run around, which is how the game was meant to be played. Tip number 7 is improve the map selection. This year has been brutal for multiplayer content. In my opinion, this trend stems back to Modern Warfare 2019 when COD changed from its regular DLC packs every couple of months to seasonal updates in an attempt to copy Fortnite's success. The disrespect that the multiplayer community has received from the developers who give more of a fuck about making a quick buck on useless cosmetics rather than enjoyable map experiences is ridiculous. In total, Modern Warfare 2 has 18 maps. Albagra Fortress, Hotel, Raceway, El Asilo, Embassy, Farm 18, Mercado, Border Crossing, Tarak, Hydro, Shipment, Shoot House, Dome, Expo, Museum, Black Gold, Paleo's Lighthouse, and the newest map that they added with Season 3 Reloaded. Minus the shit maps that are virtually unplayable for free-for-all, that leaves 9 maps that are actually enjoyable. To put it into perspective, BO2, a COD that came out in 2012, had 16 DLC maps alone, and only one of those per DLC pack were meh, but at least they were playable. Also, this outrageous desire for developers to make large-scale maps with dead space that nobody will use while running around the map needs to stop. The bigger the map is, the worse it's probably going to be. There needs to be more of a focus on creating small to medium range maps that feature fast combat, because those are going to be the most fun to play. In my opinion, Treyarch did the best at making up for this mistake when they created strike maps in Cold War. For those of you who didn't play Cold War for the full year, Treyarch created smaller versions of the larger maps known as strike that highlighted the main portions of the map and cut out the extra bullshit that nobody used, which made the gameplay faster and overall more enjoyable. Why can't MW2 do the same? I would love to see a strike version of Tarak or even Border Crossing if it means I'm not playing hide and go seek the whole time. Tip number 8 kind of goes hand in hand with tip number 7, and that's bringing back the voting system from older Call of Duties. This may be kind of picky for me, but I miss the old voting system. If your map selection sucks, let your better maps shine more than the forgettable ones by letting players decide which map they want to play. Stop forcing me to play the maps I don't want to play. It won't make me like them more. Trust me. Every time I get Black Gold, Paleo's Lighthouse, Border Crossing, or even Tarak on some days, I back the fuck out before the game even starts because I'm not wasting my time on a bad experience. Bring back map voting, please. There was literally nothing wrong with it. Instead of being a damn dictator, let the players in the lobby decide what maps should be played. And if you see that one of your maps isn't being played enough or to your liking, maybe evaluate why the player base doesn't prefer it and make the necessary changes to make the map better. My 9th tip to make Call of Duty better is where my true gripe is with Modern Warfare 2, the create a class system. For the next Call of Duty developer, please bring back restrictions for class setups. Stop making tacticals and lethals a necessity on every class, especially with the plethora of annoying shit people can throw at one another. At least make it optional so it's not dominating every lobby, especially claymores and bouncing betties, which are running rampant in MW2. Lethals and tacticals were in older titles as well, but they weren't as rampant because players had to decide whether to run those or have more perks or attachments on their weapon. If this is in the next Call of Duty, I promise you it will make it 1,000 times more enjoyable. Also, not that I dislike the new perk system introduced in Modern Warfare 2, but I think it's kind of pointless to give people the option to edit the perk classes. I feel if Infinity Ward stuck to certain players having to use certain perks based on their playstyle, it would have made the game better and meta perks wouldn't dominate every lobby. My overall advice, because there are way more attachments in newer Call of Duties rather than prior titles, Maybe set a cap for every class setup at 17 slots. That way, players can decide what perks and what attachments or lethals and tacticals best fit their playstyle. The 10th and final tip is the most evident thing that is broken in Modern Warfare 2: server issues. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I understand the CDL's purpose to have teams play on dedicated servers so one team doesn't have a ping advantage over the other, but for the love of God, your servers cannot handle the broad player base on regular multiplayer. The amount of times I get into a game where everyone is lagging and nobody is below a 40 ping because we're on a stupid server rather than letting someone with decent internet host the lobby and removing them if their internet can't handle it is frustrating. The amount of times I lag during game or have just been straight up kicked out of the lobby due to server issues, especially nowadays when internet providers are making their internet with an intense focus on gaming, letting players host lobbies will reduce the overall lag issues and make the game more stable. And that concludes my top 10 ways that I believe Infinity Ward can fix Modern Warfare 2 FFA. And if they don't give a fuck, then I hope somebody from Sledgehammer or Treyarch finds this video. We can't have another year of catering new players. I will go literally insane. Call of Duty is meant to have a skill gap. That's what drives players to want to play it more, to become better at the game. Stop spoon feeding them just so they feel good about themselves and focus on creating actual content that the dedicated fans want to see. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to say a huge thank you because I don't know how you sit through me talking this long. My ears were bleeding just editing this. But I'm also going to ask for your help. This video probably won't hit YouTube's algorithm because I'm kind of bashing Call of Duty in a way, but as a dedicated fan, I want to see this video really pop off, so maybe the right people or people who know the right people can relay this information and save the future of Call of Duty. I usually don't do this, but I beg that you like, comment, repost, share, whatever you need to do to get this video the attention that it deserves so we can see some actual change. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next video will hopefully be back to normal, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.